Perfect. 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 Perfect.
There we go. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome. Welcome to Sauce Sports. How you guys doing? I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope everybody is enjoying themselves. Y'all know that's not how we fucking rock around here, bro. Look, it's been a minute since we didn't really got some sauce in it. One, welcome to the sauce. It's been a while. Speaking of sauce, I know your sauce, but you get off it. Welcome to All Sports, man. A Houston, Texas homer network. We're talking all sports, but only Houston, primarily Texans. You know, primarily. We gonna have some Astros and Rocket stuff coming at you one day. One day. We're busy guys. Got to work, got to do things, school, other things, families to take care of, all that good shit. Anyway, I am your host, Honcho, man. If you've been rocking with us long enough, then I, need no introduction. If you're new to this, not true to this, hey, hit the like button first, hit the subscribe button second, and then third, introduce yourself in the chat. A lot going on. It's been a very long time testing out some different services. So we're gonna have a Sauceline. We'll be back. We're gonna get back to the old sauce ways. You know what I mean? Like, just be honest. Like, got away from the thing that really made this channel, and that was the voice of the people, right? And that was through the sauce line, all the great folks who have called in, over the years. It has been a long absence of conversation. So, and I know it's going to take some time to kind of get that momentum back going, but my intentions are sauce daily, right? Like Saturdays, no. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like how I was doing with the Den, if you followed the Den quite long enough. Daily conversation. So like sauce at 7, depending on something that may or may not happen, it might be some days at 6, whatever. And like I said, I'm gonna be trying a couple of different services to find one that I like. So the number may be the same, it may change. Who knows? But we'll get to that when we get to that. Make sure you're following all the proper social medias. All of y'all who come and check it out on Tuesdays, in our partnership with Fox 26 with the Drip, and you watch on the app or wherever you may be. Appreciate all of you and all of you tried and true members of Sauce Nation, man. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I've been doing a lot of weird shit, right? Not that weird. So I got like a bunch of cameras all over the place. I'm looking all in the wrong direction, everything. I forgot how to stream. But again, it's good to see y'all. We got lots to talk about. Let's get to it, man. Y'all know we do a thing around here called the Sauce Nation Roll Call. Shout out your side with pride. If you are from the greater Houston area, let me know where you at. If you're not from the greater Houston area, well, you fucking up. Like, you should probably relocate. And with the state of affairs going on in the world, Texas is the best place to be. Houston is even better. I'm lying. Houston crime rate has gone crazy since, you know. Anywho, let's see what we got in the building. Right. I see Myron. What's the motherfucking deal? David Lugo, what's the motherfucking deal? Spitz holding it down. Shout out to Spitz. Congratulations on the 5K. And if y'all ain't been watching on two, if y'all ain't been watching on two, like, what are y'all doing with yourselves? Like, y'all ain't got shit to do on Tuesday. What are y'all going to, like, prayer group or something? Like, y'all going to prayer group with, like, Jack G should be on Tuesdays or something? Like, y'all should be in here. There's no excuse. Trinity Gardens in the building. J Boogie 10, what's the motherfucking deal? James Harden, what's the motherfucking deal? Officer Doofus, Seabrook in the building already. Look, man. I need to slide out to Seabrook, go get me some seafood, man. Go get me some fresh, seafood because I gotta start buying in bulk, man. I gotta throw that in the motherfucking deep freezer. I think I might go out there either this weekend, next weekend, something like that. Chase, Washington Ave in the building already. I already play Amazing Sucker Free. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Slim Hardaway. Lord Trill, SWAT in the building already. Make sure you're in the live chat, not the top chat. So, something players fuck up. Shelly Long. Shelly Long's like the worst person in all of society. Like, Shelley Long, she don't shave her legs, right? And she be going out on dates. She be on Tinder. She's a Tinder swindler. And she be going on dates, meeting niggas with hairy ass legs. And then she be over there going on foodie calls. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know what a foodie call is, it's like a booty call without the booty. Just you go out on a date, you get some food, and then she don't call a nigga back. That's the type of time she be on. So I'm just telling y'all, watch out. She a catfish in the chat. Y'all be careful if you see Shelley Long. Anyway, lots of stuff to talk about. Let's get into it, man. All right, so with the number 3 pick, if you've been watching the drip, y'all already know how I'm feeling. Y'all already know how I'm rocking. And something that I feel like the Texans needed for a long time, which is quality corner play. Obviously, Lovey feels the same. He stated his piece on that. But they went out and made a play today. They went out and made a move, and they went out and got Steven Nelson, right? And Steven Nelson, veteran corner, solid player, 2-year deal. I like it. I'm going to tell you why I like it, right? One, we don't really have decent corners. 2, because I still feel that means, I still feel like we're going to go corner early. Like, I still feel corner at 3, particularly at 3. 1, y'all already know namesake. 2, because even though, as Spitz mentioned, that he's not like necessarily the playmaker that you would say Stingley is, but he's the guy that is not gonna get you beat. You know what I mean? He's the guy keeping him out the end zone. I prefer that. Like, I'd rather have a guy shut down the side of the field. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather have a guy shut down the side of the field to the point where quarterbacks are afraid to test him, right? I think that's ideal, as opposed to a guy who can make outstanding plays, make amazing plays, get you the turnovers and things like that. But I'm just more comfortable with the stability, especially with this defense. And if it's looking anything like it was last year, it was already very opportunistic. Lovey's going to put guys in play, so I'm not even worried about that. So that's just kind of my thing. As far as that, so I really do believe we're going corner early. I think that's been mentioned a lot. Do we trade back? I think it depends on the first 2 picks. I've seen some things talking about Carolina wants to trade back, and I know Carolina was maybe an idea some folks had that Texans go from 3 to 6, and you still got guys you're interested in, right? But if they're talking about trading back, then we may be having another conversation here. But I'm pretty sure there are going to be a lot of people who are interested in that number 3 pick. I think there's a lot of names that have shot up draft boards recently, especially with quarterback. Y'all know how it is. Like, every single year, when it comes to the quarterbacks, they like unnecessary hype. Some guy out of butthole Iowa is going to come out, like some college you've never heard of, and they're going, oh, he's 6'5", and he's got a cannon. I've seen him throw a ball from Texas to Mexico. He's the guy you really want, right? Like, Uncle Rico ass quarterback out of nowhere, your Blake Bortles or whatever, and he gets hyped up. Trubisky's hyped up, you know what I mean? And so you get this crazy situation. HSFV says this: hilarious when our offense is pretty good, our defense sucks. When our offense sucks, the defense is pretty good. At this point, what did it take for Lovey to get to the Super Bowl? Yeah, super solid defense. I'd rather give Lovey the tools or the pieces, or I'd rather be heavy on defense. I wouldn't care if it was an all defensive draft. Because I think, I don't want to say you want to see what you got. I feel like Mills will be better than what he was last year. To what extent, who knows, right? Because sometimes you can show flashes and sometimes you can show regression. Sophomore slump can be a real thing. I just don't believe that. I don't really feel like the Texans had real intentions with Mills. I think they were hoping Tyrod was going to stay healthy, but maybe not. Maybe they wanted a higher pick. So I don't think early on they were all in on him, right? And then it got to a point Tyrod got injured, came back playing like ass, and then it was like Mills season. And then you saw Mills do some questionable things, and then you saw him do some decent things, and you saw glimpses of possibility. My thing is, I got to see it strung together, back to back games. I need to see it strung together, multiple series, and this shit not happening in garbage time. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of where I'm at. I'd rather you have, this year's going to be another throwaway year. That's kind of how I feel. Like I told y'all last year, David Culley, he's an unknown. He's like the quarterback I just talked about that they went from Butthole, Iowa. He's like the coach who coached the quarterback in Butthole, Iowa, and they never won any games for some reason. He always good. Anyway, Culley told y'all, like, people got, you're hating on Culley for a guy. And I even tried to give him a chance. Like, I tried to give him a chance. It was good to see the positivity. I tried to get on the positivity train. I got off at the first stop because it just wasn't working for me. So Culley told y'all it was a throwaway season. And I honestly thought he'd be here 2 years. But I'm loving the Lovey move. I feel like the Texans will field a much more interesting team this year. But I still don't know how competitive it's going to be. They went up and picked up some guys. Who was it? Hamilton, not from the draft. I'm talking about the receiver. A couple other guys, and we'll see how they pan out. But Spitz pointed something out to me yesterday, which was crazy that I did not even realize with the Cooks thing, which was him having 90-something catches, 95 catches, and the next closest guy was 20-something. Maybe was I think 29. He said with Nico. That's a huge discrepancy. Now a little bit of that to me, I felt like when he was available, Mills leaned on him a little bit, and it's good to see that he went out there in Georgia, and he kind of got to work out with the guys. I liked him to get more comfortable, and I don't think he had the opportunity to get comfortable with guys because he was not considered that option. You know what I'm saying? Early on, and now that he knows, as of right now, he's going to be the guy. The fact that he's out there trying to show leadership, trying to work with guys. I like to see it. What will pan out from it? I think we just kind of have to wait and see. I got to talk about something really important. Something that's going on with the Texans right now that I do not like. And I think it's something that we really need to look at and put into consideration with the upcoming draft. Now, I still don't think you go away from corner early, even though it's a corner heavy draft. I would still like to get one of those top tier guys, Sauce, Stingley, that kind of conversation. I know people are cool with Hamilton if that's the direction you want to go. I just don't know about safety. I think a corner at this point in time is much more impactful. And Lovey said himself, for our defense to operate the way it should operate, we need better corner play. But this is a position that people have kind of discussed, and I threw out the window because I was like, I think we're good where we're at. I'm not great, but I think we're decent where we're at, considering if guys play the way they should. But that's offensive tackle. We really need to consider picking up a tackle in this draft. You say, well, Honcho, why would you say that we need an offensive tackle? We have Laramie Tunsil. He's one of the best in the league. And, if Howard, it says on his Twitter account that he's a right tackle, and I think he could be a tackle. He could have some pillars there, some bookends, right? I'm going to tell you why we need to move on from both of those guys. We need to move on from Tunsil, and we need to move on from Titus Howard, especially, right? So, let me tell you why. This is the reason why. Okay? Titus Howard woke up this morning and decided this was it. Right? He woke up this morning and decided he would make this statement. Now, if you're from the city, you know that this comment is blasphemy, right? This nigga got up today and decided to tweet idiocracy, right? Krispy Kreme, trade him. Like, just like now, I hope Nick Casario is on the phone. But you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Nick Casario believes. Nick Casario's not a Texan. He said he don't even like barbecue, right? You know what I'm saying? Like he said he don't even like barbecue. So I wouldn't be surprised if Nick Casario, if he is a diner of donuts, probably agrees with Titus Howard on this bullshit, right? Like, you don't get the fuck out of town with that dumb shit. Krispy Kreme donuts are foo-foo. They got some old over-exaggerated ass donuts. We don't want that shit down here. We want that authentic, homemade, real deal donut delight. You got to go to Shipley's, dog. This is a Houston thing. I'm assuming the Texans. I don't really count Dallas. I don't really care. Like Dallas ain't even got HEBs. Like I think they're just now getting there first. That's how you know Dallas ain't really Texas. That's how you know that's South Oklahoma because they like just now getting the HEB when everybody else in the world got HEBs. Everybody else in Texas got HEBs. No, Titus said that Krispy Kreme is better than Shipley's, right? But you say, well, what does that got to do with Laramie Tunsil, Honcho? You said trade both of them. This nigga Laramie Tunsil agreed. Absolutely. Tunsil back smoking that shit, y'all. He back on the gas mask. Okay, he had the gas mask on while he was he had to have it on to co-sign this asinine bullshit, dog. Like, get out of here, right? Get them out of here. Like, just get them both out of here. This shit is unacceptable, bro. This shit is not allowed. I'm just saying that, like, I woke up, I saw this shit this morning, boy, and let me tell you, I was not very keen on it. I was highly upset, right? I was highly upset. And, you know, it is what it is, right? Yeah, stay off the weed. You know what I'm saying? Take me to your dealer. You know what I'm saying? Whoever you got to get. Like, I'm just convinced these niggas ain't never ate shit. Like, I'm like 92% convinced these niggas never had shit. Like, what needs to happen at the Texans facility right now is somebody needs to take 2 anonymous boxes of donuts up to the Texans facility, right? No name on them, just white boxes, a dozen donuts each. You know, I'm talking about four deep, 3 rows, or yeah, that's about right. You know, the long box, whatever. And don't say shit, right? And let them each pick a donut and just say, hey, which donut was better, right? I guarantee you, in the blind donut tasting, no, Dunkin' Donuts is not, Dunkin' Donuts is ass, right? Like, that Dunkin' Donuts is in last place, so we ain't even gonna talk about them. Out of these 2, because these are the 2 names that always get thrown, I don't know why Krispy Kreme is thrown around, it's weird shit, but anyway, and let them taste, I guarantee you, Shipley's wins, right? I'm not even doubting, I'm not even questioning. But again, trade these niggas until they get their mind right. I want to jump back to the Nelson thing, though, and this is kind of something we got on, you know, last night in the drip. And that was, you know, this signing here, what does that say for a guy like Lonnie? Because I feel like Lonnie's almost in a similar situation. No, let me not put it like that. He's kind of got a similar thing going on, but I won't say the situation is similar to Titus. And that's kind of, where is your position, right? Like, you're a DB, right? That could be multiple things. As you can say, oh, he's an offensive lineman. That could be multiple things. But I think Titus is definitely more solidified in his spot on the roster compared to a guy like Lonnie, right? Because Lonnie was drafted as a corner. Lovey comes out and says corner play is terrible. And you would think that if Lonnie had something to offer, that maybe they would consider, you know, putting him there, moving back, or whatever they got going on. I don't even know what they got going on. I don't know if he's still a safety. I don't know what they got going on with him, right? But either way, it wasn't looking very great for Lonnie. It wasn't looking good at all for Lonnie, right? So I don't think he's going to be here much longer. I don't know if you're going to get any trade value for him. I don't know if anybody's even interested. So, maybe like an extremely late round pick. You might get like an eighth round pick for him or something like that in the 2032 draft. But I guess you got to try to feel to see what's out there. I mean, stranger things have happened. I mean, you got to see if there's any feelers out there. I just don't think that he's going to be a part of the program. And again, I'm when Lonnie came in here, just like Spitz said last night, we were saying last night, I think the whole roundtable was pretty much, on board. Okay, cool. We got Lonnie coming out of Kentucky. He's got the measurables, right? And this is the thing. And this is why I say, man, the stat sexuals, and some of y'all might be into that. Some of y'all might be into the weird shit, right? Uh, Shout out to Professor Chill for the super sauce super chat love. I appreciate it. And y'all stay tuned. I didn't get a chance to get everything. Like, I'm not even gonna get into it. It just a whole bunch of shit. But as the sauce line gets back, as the things, we're going to make sure there's much more interactivity for the folks on the stream. There's going to be a lot more stuff going on, so make sure y'all stay tuned. But appreciate the super sauce, super chat love. Shout out to Professor Trill. But Lonnie had all the measurables, right? He had all the tools you liked, right? He had all of those things. But they've yet to pan out, right? They haven't developed into what you want to see from him, especially with the consistency. That's why I say when these dudes get on here talking about, well, he's got, 4.3 speed, he's not fast twitch, and they just start saying like all this weird shit. Like, none of that shit matters. You can either play or you can't play, right? Lights come on. Are you about that action, or you trying to hide, and that's just kind of what it is. So like I say, it's just weird. And again, this analytics shit, in sports as a whole, bro. Like it's weird shit to me. It's like it's a thing that was created to let non-athletes get in the conversation, and then what happened is you let non-athletes take over the conversation. That's why you have like the incident you had with fucking Bill Simmons, right? And him talking about fuck Jalen Green and all this stuff. Like that dude is a known. He's like, I know I've hit a lot of videos and just kind of trying to keep everything like neat and organized. But years ago, I told y'all that there is a bias on the city of Houston. I don't know what it is, and it's kind of permeated from the top down. Again, L.A. and New York, where they record all the shit, and that's why they're always dick riding those cities, even when they suck. You know what I'm saying? They still try to make stories for that shit. They do their damnedest. Big numbers, big markets, and so they try to promote the shit. But Houston, for whatever reason, should be a big market, but we're treated like a fucking Oklahoma City or something. They actually might get better love in the basketball conversation than we do, but we get treated like a fucking small market. And part of that is the people that y'all choose to listen to, right, as fans. And my thing now with the sauce, as we've kind of get things revamped to get things going, is to change the conversation that the fans in the city of Houston are having. That's the problem. Because you know what they'll do in New York? Do you know what they'll do in LA? Do you know what they'll do in Philly? They're not going to just sit there and bitch, well, I wish we would do better. We'll just take it. They'll get out there and make it known that they don't like what they'll get in that motherfucker and boo. Hey, them motherfuckers booed the first game after they won the Super Bowl in Philly. Like, the first game of the season, they was booing motherfucker. Like, that's the kind of shit we need in the city. And you say, well, that type of mentality isn't just. I know some of y'all are super progressive and into some weird everybody's equal and we should all be. No, get that shit out of here. That's not how it works, though. Sports is competition. Like, you can't bring a soft mentality to competition, right? Period. You have no friends on the field, and that's something I hate about this new energy. Everybody's, let me dance with my buddy on the other team. I played with him at AAU one time. But because the fans don't take control as we should. So that's why you got guys like Bill Simmons saying whatever the fuck he wants to. I'd slap the dog piss out of Bill Simmons, right? And you say, Honcho, that's immature. We don't condone violence. Y'all might not condone violence, but there's situations where violence might be necessary. They can't just come insulting the city. You can't insult the future goats of the city and all that shit and just think that shit is okay. And everybody laughs it off and sniggle. Like, I slapped the dog piss out that motherfucker. Like, and, there's a couple motherfuckers in the city I slapped the shit out of too if we ever cross paths. But that's a whole nother conversation, right? I will. They jumped on it, but again, like I said, it's just this motherfucker is sitting there trying to dump. Oh, I was just laughing. Like, shut up, bitch. Like you, it's a point where sometimes you got to get disrespectful, and like you got to put fear in motherfuckers. Like sometimes that's very necessary, right? Like very necessary. Like I know people say, "You're too old for that." You ain't never too old for that shit. I seen some old people fighting in some wheelchair. I thought that shit was funny. If they ain't too old for it, I ain't too old for it. But anyway, but that's the problem. I want the people of Houston, the city of Houston, the fans of Houston, you know what I'm saying, to realize that you have the power. Y'all need to start taking that shit and running with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I did read the super chat. I didn't. Oh, okay. Well, I was on a rant. I apologize. Teacher's assistant Trill. Say shout out to Honcho. I appreciate that. Like the goddamn video. Sauce up, boss up. The original round. Oh yeah, darkness spreading. Fuck you, nigga. Darkness in your damn truck. I hope it's dark when you drive and you run over a raccoon and the motherfucking put a hole in your tire and it delays your trip back home, nigga. No, not a raccoon. I like raccoons. I guess they all right. More like a possum. Yeah. Anyway, but like I said, it's just man, it's a situation where we gotta we gotta realize that like the power is in the people, right? If people can come together to cancel all this other stupid shit, the city needs to come together and light a fire under the Texans, especially because y'all give the Texans way more love than anybody across the board, and they're like the only team in this city that has not won shit, right? That has not like been even competitive in the way they should be in their respective league, right? U of H balling, football field balling, basketball balling, right? In the conversation, top rank. Their playoffs a little bit different, so that's a whole other thing. Final four, I mean, if Elite Eight could have been a different situation. The Texans tweet about them, but anyway, Dash Dynamo champions, Astros champions, going back to multiple World Series. Rockets. In a minute, they got some dust on their record, but the potential is there. Prior to James Harden leaving, they were in the conversation. Western Conference Final, like we're right there on the brink. They got hold out of one of them against the Warriors. Like everybody else has been there. The Texans give you second round of the playoffs, blowout embarrassments. Right, that's the best you've gotten. We have to put pressure on them and not be afraid, not get rid of that Oilers syndrome. A lot of people have. Like I wasn't even around for the Oilers like existence. So like it's weird. It must be a generational thing that it got passed down. But anyway, all right, give me a second. Like I said, doing something a little bit different. Let me put the new Sauceline number up. I guess that helps. I should actually edit that right. And we'll take some calls. Look, it's been a minute. 5 minutes. Spill your sauce. Speak your mind. Whatever's going on. If you like the Nelson signing, you know what I'm saying? If you got a thought on that third pick, or even that 13th pick in the draft, I'd like to know your thoughts on that. Um, how do you feel about donuts, especially Shipley's versus Krispy Kreme? Actually, give me a second. I'm gonna put a poll up on that, and we'll get your thoughts on that one. And again, I'm gonna take these calls, see how it works. It has been a minute since I've been in it, but let's make it shake. Oh, where did I put it? I think. Where does this go? Shit won't fucking move. Don't tell me it's doing that bullshit. It might be. It might be on some bullshit. Let's see. This is what we're gonna do. Gonna do some real ghetto behavior. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see. Well, no, it's fine. It's typing. Oh, here it is. All right, cool. I was looking in the wrong spot. There we go. There we go. That's the number. Call it in. You can call. You can text. Doodle 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 doo. Yes, I'm uncancelable. So while we're doing that, let me put this poll up. And the poll is so y'all lucky though that I can't see what people vote. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's gonna be at least one of y'all. I'd block your ass if I could, if I knew who it was. But it is what it is. Um, but again, like I say, we're just in a situation where I mentioned to it a thing when I said that there's a potential that this could be, and I know it sounds crazy, right? It sounds very crazy what I'm saying. This pick could be the most important pick in Texans history, right? And you say, well, Honcho, why is that? Let me make sure I put the right number up there too. 3879. All right, cool. And you say this could be the most important pick in Texas. You say, well, why wouldn't that be David Carr? Well, that's over and done, and that didn't really need to. That was just what it was. I think that right now is where you start building the foundation for the next era of the Texans, right? All jokes aside, all bullshit aside, I've been on the Mills kick and all that, but unless I see a significant jump, like I said, consistency, a little bit quicker on the release. I mean, Pep said a couple of things himself. It's just some things about Mills that have to be tightened up, and he could be serviceable. I don't feel like Mills is going to be a guy that's going to, just light up the league. And I told you about stat sexuals. You can take all the caveats, and that's why I say I don't watch ESPN. I don't indulge in PFF. I don't listen to people who look like they ain't never even been a water boy or a damn, athlete assistant, whatever, like even come close to a field, but they just experts also. Because there's just some nonsense that goes on with that because they just make up these weird statistics that don't make sense. In the month of August, when playing on grass, under 30-degree weather, this guy's 100% right. Like a bunch of shit that doesn't matter, right? A lot of y'all in here are, a lot of y'all in here have played at some level. I don't care if it's Pee Wee, I don't care if it's junior high, high school, college. I don't think we got any pros in here. Maybe it's some kind of pro league, not necessarily NFL. But when you stepped on that field, when you laced up your cleats, you put your helmet on, or if it was on the basketball court, you put your jersey on, your shorts and your shoes and all that. Did you give a damn about the statistics, the averages, any of that shit when it comes to the opponent? And like I said, I don't know how many of y'all have played. Some of y'all might be some non-athletes. Some of y'all might just be NBA 2K Madden type people, right? Like, did you ever give a shit? If you were an athlete, I want to know that. Just quick yes or no. If you ever played on any level, like I said, from Pee Wee to pro, like, was that a thing? You know what I'm saying? Bet JUCO. Like, you knew, like, okay, yeah, oh, okay, this is their leading receiver, or their quarterbacks. He's putting up good numbers, whatever. But when you put your hand in that dirt, you know what I'm saying? When you got in that 2 point stance, you know what I'm saying? Like, did any of that matter? You know what I'm saying? Once tip off happened, did any of that? Do you care about that? That's a weird, nerdy stat. Like that's some geeky shit, right? That's some real like, who cares? 4.2 yards. It's just a talking point, right? And so that's why I don't get into all of the weird shit. Like, yeah, it's a conversation, it's a comparison. But to me, when it comes to sports, especially fucking football, you can't make. It's kind of asinine to me, right? I think all you got really is tape, and that's game from like what does a motherfucker do? How do they execute? Other than that, all the little shit to me it's just hard for me to get into, right? And again, I ain't played on nobody feel shit with. And damn near a couple of decades. We ain't finna age myself, but we already know what it is. But it's still like when I think back to those things, like that's not something anybody ever cared about. That's spectator stuff, right? So I get it. It's cool to talk about it. You in your fantasy football, awesome. That'll help you make better decisions. But again, it doesn't matter in the real conversation. What matters is, the level of competition. Again, I'll take height, I'll take weight. We told you the 40 thing, vastly overrated. I'd care more about 20 yards than I'd care more about 40, right? Because you ain't seeing motherfuckers get up like that. Like, I think acceleration is more important than top speed, right? Like, to me, and so I get it though. I do understand. I do get it, but I just think that people have to get out of some of these things. They overvalue some of these things, some of these little nuanced things, right? Like I say, that's just my personal perspective. I think the combine, the what do they call it, the underwear Olympics, super overrated. It doesn't prove anything because you'll see some motherfucker whose combine stock dropped, or somebody who shot up for whatever reason during the combine and it doesn't, they don't pan out to what it was, or somebody's stock dropped and, or whatever, even invited to a combine and turned out to be a baller because of what? Oh, you saw it on their game film. You've seen these UDFAs, undrafted free agents, come out of nowhere. There's no science to this shit. It's an art, right? There's no science to my teammates are bad, man. Like there's not a science, because if it was, people would learn that science, or somebody would master that science and teach it to others for an exorbitant fee, and you'd see nothing but the top-notch talent across the board. There would never be a bummy player on a team, or somebody would capitalize on, get all the talent and field fucking superstar teams for cheap. So to me, it's just like, man, we got to get out of overhyping that type of stuff. I'm not saying it doesn't have a place at all in the conversation, but to base the conversation around all of that, like the whole Kyle Hamilton thing, right? You watched him play, and this has always been my statement. Y'all have heard me say this for years and repeating myself. How do you know you like a player? How do you know that you like a player? Do you go down a list of all the colleges and you're looking at every player's 40 time? Well, this guy runs a 4.2. I must like him. This guy's 6'5", and he's all this. No, it's the play on the field, right? It's what they do when the lights come on. That's what makes you say, yo, when this motherfucker stands out compared to everybody else, like, damn, that motherfucker's a baller. Damn, that motherfucker's good, right? Motherfucker makes amazing plays, or just have a good game, whatever. That's the stuff that makes you become curious. You don't know a lot of that shit. You don't know that shit as the game is going on. Yeah, you got people behind the scenes who update it if you're watching on TV, but if you're at a game sitting your ass in the stands, you don't care about none of that shit. You don't give a fuck about none of that. And so I wonder why that has become so prevalent. Actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, I think I understand it, because, like I say, so many people watch ESPN, and I get it. You want to get the news. You want to get the news first and fast, right? And so you do that. But if you watch ESPN, you know that the fucking they make up these stats, they make up this crazy shit, and they're the ones who've kind of altered this conversation because people lean so heavily on ESPN for sports knowledge. I think that's another thing too when we're talking Houston sports, and wanting to change the culture of this thing, and wanting to change how we view shit. Like, you can't have two things at once. You can't sit here and say, the national media has been neglecting us, they've been shitting on us, they've been doing all this. You know that there is a disdain for the city, right? You know that there is an active agenda against Houston, period. Doesn't matter who it is, from Harden, when he should have won multiple MVPs, voter fatigue. You seen, bitch ass Bill say something about that. To the Jalen Green situation. Dude balled out, not even in the rookie of the year conversation, really. We can talk about even when certain characters were here who are no longer here were putting up exceptional performances. Even then, they weren't getting some of the love, right? And it gets downplayed, or it gets pushed to the back burner. So we know this. We're actively aware. Excuse me. that there's a bias against the city. But then at the same time, turn around and want to covet the affection of the four-letter network, right? Like that's the shit to me that I don't fucking get. Like you get upset when it doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And you know what it is. Like you gotta stop giving a shit about that. Like the city needs its own personality. And I think that's the biggest problem that we have when it comes to sports as a whole. Like, there's been a lot of out of towners that came in here and infiltrated it. I see motherfuckers in Lakers jerseys. I be seeing motherfuckers with Boston stickers on their fucking car. Like this type of stuff should not be allowed. Like people shouldn't feel. And I know Honcho, you talking crazy. You threatening people. Like people should not feel comfortable just walking around Houston in a LeBron jersey. I don't care, Broderick, even though you ain't in here. If you think it is, fashion or whatever, Neil number 3, no. And like I don't care if you think it is fashion or not. Like it's not something you should be doing, right? And that's the problem. Like we've become a bandwagon city. We really don't even support our own. You know what I mean? You got people fans of, like I said, Boston. You got people fans of L.A. Real, things of this nature. Like I can't do it, right? I cannot, will not do it. And I'm the type of person, anytime I see somebody wearing something from out of town, like, I question them. Like, and I know you're like, who do you think you are? Because, like, I got questions. Or I'm going to give them a hard time about it, especially if it's some fucking cowboy shit. Like, I'm going to give you a hard time about the shit that you wear. Ties OT, he's got to be a good OT to get that OT money. But again, like I said, we're not in need of a tackle. Like the biggest, most pressing need that we have is corner, and I don't think it's remotely close. Like I don't think there's any doubt about that, because it's just like, one, when you're in a situation to get, and I mean draft you a homegrown corner, when is the last time that happened? Dante? Is Dante the last time we've actually had a corner that we picked that contributed? You know what I'm saying? Like, now, and I know people, Jonathan Joseph was a trade, right? Well, he came from the Bengals. I'm talking about the Texans make a pick. They mold this guy to the guy they want. And like I said yesterday, a franchise corner. We talk about franchise quarterbacks. Where is that franchise corner? I think you have the ability to get your Sherman, your Revis, your Peterson, your you know what I'm saying? Like I think the Texans have an opportunity to go get their name brand guy in this draft. But you got to jump on it, right? And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it's too high." And that's another thing. When we're talking talent, like I talk about the field, right? And what was it? Sauce had. I just saw the stat. Somebody put it up. I think 1,008 snaps, and didn't give up not a touchdown. I don't care who you're playing against. Like I don't care what division, league, whatever that you're in. That is an amazing feat, because that's purely technique and discipline, and consistent technique and discipline. And again, I told y'all my thing with Sauce is I like the confidence, right? And I'm actually going to use a Davis Mills quote. Davis Mills said something the other day. He said that you got a borderline on confidence and cockiness, and you got to learn how to dance that line, right? And that's kind of where I feel like Sauce is. And I'm not saying Stingley might not have it, or some of these other guys. But one, I like Sauce. He's a little bit taller. Like I said, I want some tall corners. And again, we've always made the association with, Lovey's old squad and Peanut Tillman, right? This can be your Tillman, if not better, possibly quite better. So Bouye, and I know Bouye, but here's the thing, right? But again, And the reason why I said Bouye didn't come out the gate like that, right? Bouye didn't come out the gate. Bouye, it took him a few years, and then when he got good, you lose him. You know what I mean? So I'm talking about a guy I feel like can come out the gate. Look, I think for a rookie, adjusting to the speed of the league can be very difficult. So I think you give them a little bit of leeway. You give them a window to get there. And I think, excuse me, what actually kind of sucks about not having guys like the old 10 and the old 15 around is if you could get some talent like these young guys that are available, and you have at what point in time was the best receiver in the league, and then another guy who's probably one of the fastest, maybe second or third fastest guy in the league, and you have the opportunity to practice against these guys on a daily basis in practice, so you get those reps over and over again. That's a downfall of not having guys like that. I'm not saying that you know Cooks is decent. You know what I mean? Like, and I know people, on the 1,000 yard thing. I was kind of joking with that last night, but he's not to me in the caliber of a Hopkins. He's not. He may be, the speed may be there, but I don't think. I think if you had a choice between him and a healthy Fuller, you're probably going with Will Fuller, right? At least from our experience. So my deal is just like it's just, man. You assaulted the Jags. Like, again, yeah, this could be our Ramsey, right? I want somebody who's going to get on that field and talk shit. That's the one thing I didn't care for about Cully too much last year. He kind of seemed to suppress the guys being themselves, and I think that's something that matters. I think when you got guys who know that they're allowed to, you know, play free because he's going to put them in a position, and when guys are making plays, well, what do you want to do? When you make plays, you want to talk shit. You know what I'm saying? And so I think a guy like this, and I'm not saying that's going to be cut off. I think he's going to allow them to be who they are. Because you notice, who was it? Not Kirksey, Camu. And it was very interesting that what he said. I think he said it was him and Kirksey. One of the big things with them coming back was the fact that Lovey was now your head coach, right? I think guys enjoy playing under Lovey Smith. The returner for Chicago. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's just on the Hall of Fame. Devin Hester. He said some things about Lovey a few weeks ago, right? Maybe a couple of months ago. And it stands out. He talks about how Lovey goes to bat for his guys, how he's a player's coach. You know what I mean? I think that's huge. When you have guys who are willing to play for him, and he also mentioned, guys will be willing to run through a wall for Lovey because he does all the things. You see the fucking videos of him up there 5 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? He's up there 5 o'clock in the morning and going to work. No, and I'm saying J. Joe was solid, but J. Joe wasn't a draft pick for the Texans. J. Joe came off a trade, if I'm not mistaken, when we got Manning and all that. That was nice. Nice to have another Danielle Manning too. The possibility of getting Sauceline, very slim to none. I think you get. I think I've seen some people say. I've seen some. We were in a Discord. Matter of fact, we want to be a part of the South Sports Discord. Like some of the. Well, it's hard to see it in the corner, but you see where it says pledged. Those are members of the Discord. Patreon.com/Sauce Sports. We in there all the time. It's like Sauce 24/7. And it's like 12/7 every day, maybe about 12 hours a day. Especially if you at work and you be bored, the Discord is the place to be. But Patreon.com/Sauce Sports. You want to get the link. You want to be a part of that. Starting at the $5 tier. I think it's very slim, but I've seen people saying that Hamilton's fallen out of the top 10. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Thibodeau, hell no. Right? Came on Thibodeau. uh, and what is it? Von Tito's. They wise call them corn chips. Like I say, when he said Clowney 2.0, and this is coming from a Clowney fan, right? You know, people say takes plays off, things like that. Like, I don't want a guy coming in here. Look, the one thing that you can always do, it takes, it was a saying, and I have not said this in years, actually. I want to, this was my high school coach used to, it was the thing on the, what you call it. It takes absolutely no talent to hustle, right? If that's the one thing you can always give your all. Like people who taking, if they're, on record, oh, he takes plays off, he does this, don't want him, right? Don't want him. Get him out of here. See, and look, see, this is what I'm saying. Oh, I forgot all about the poll. I knew it. In a quarter, y'all motherfuckers gonna come in here and vote for. You know what? I want Tunsil traded. I want Howard traded, and I want all y'all fans. Y'all, everybody here who picked Krispy Kreme, y'all probably some of them, some new Browns fans. Y'all probably followed forward to the Browns. I can't trust y'all. See, that's what I'm saying. I can't be trusting y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, but again, I still feel like because my early on belief was that the Texans are going to trade back. That's my early on belief. But I'd rather them take that risk on Sauce at three. I'd really rather them, I don't even think it's a risk. I don't even think it's a risk. I think you take Sauce at three, right? I think he's your guy. I think he has everything. And I saw somebody say something the other day. I forgot where I came across this. And I thought this was kind of dumb because it doesn't make sense to me. Somebody was talking about developing intangibles. That's not a thing. Like I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you disagree. I don't believe that's a thing. Like an intangible is the it factor. Like you either got it or you don't. And if you ain't had it by the time you hit the league, I don't think you get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think there's an it. Like you may have a year where you ball out or something, and then it kind of your face. Like if you just don't have the it doesn't come when you hit the pros, right? Like you just have it or you don't. And like I said, when it comes to Mills, like I said, I think that he can be serviceable. I think he can get to a point where he can be decent. Look, Lovey took Grossman to the big game. Rex Mills can't be. I mean, Rex Mills. Davis Mills can't be Grossman. Like, is that what you're saying? Yeah, and that's the crazy shit. Like I seen, like somebody's like, yeah, you gotta develop into like. But again, I want to say it was somebody else who it might have been an article, a Texans article or some shit, right? It's just like that doesn't make sense to me. That like I said, you just you got it or you don't. Shout out to OG77013 saying Krispy Kreme is the epitome of conveyor belt donut. I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? So me and my old lady be having some arguments, right? See, for the most part, we agree on a significant amount of things. But the downfall is, she's from LA, right? And so y'all know LA people are LA people. So we get into arguments over things. Now I think she's converted on the Shipleys. Because I went to Shipley's the other day, like about 2 weekends ago. And so I think she didn't convert it on the Shipley's because it was something she got from there. It's another little off the wall donut spot we go to, like a no name spot, but they have like the most amazing breakfast sandwiches. And so I got some donuts from there with the little breakfast sandwiches. And it was cool. Then we went to Shipley's and she was on there. At first she would talk shit. Oh, you don't know Krispy Kreme. You ain't never even eat. I have no interest in eating the Krispy Kremes, right? I just look at the box and I want to vomit. But there's one thing that we Speaking of the devil coming in now, there's one thing that we have very vehement arguments about, right? And it's a thing that bothers me more than anything else, right? And that is the In and Out versus Whataburger deal. Being from LA, In and Out is their thing. Y'all already know what it is with the Whataburger. And I will never eat In and Out. I have no intentions of it. It doesn't look appealing. I just have no interest, right? So the way that, the Shipleys and then whatchamacallit argument goes is kind of in our household, the battle is Whataburger versus In and Out. And I mean, just look at them little shitty burgers. Who wants that shit? A double double. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's an In and Out not that far from me. I stay in Katy, so there's one like maybe 10 minutes up the way or something like that. Not that far. I pass by it frequently. We'll never stop there. No interest. My old lady, little one, they've gone. Don't even get me anything. I'm not interested. I'll go to Whataburger. Like, it's disgusting. But here's the deal, man. It is getting about that time. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna rock, like I said, the sauce an hour. I'm saying none of y'all call, so forget y'all. I ain't want to talk to y'all no way. We'll try again tomorrow, right? We will be in the den at 9, right? And the den conversation, not a conversation for everybody. Tonight, especially, is going to be a very interesting conversation. So if you rock with the den, make sure you're in the den. Go to thedenshow.com if you want to go to that channel will take you there. Shout out to OG, shout out to Trill. Appreciate the super sauce, super chat love. Shout out to all the Sauce Nation, except for those of you who voted for Krispy Kreme. So shame on y'all, right? Oh, that's what I'm saying, man. Like one burger. Like what? I don't have options. This is it. Man, get out of here. Send that shit back to Cali. Um. So again, man. So again, like I said, man, I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. I thank y'all for pulling up, and like I say, just we're gonna get things back on track, get back consistent with the sauce, and definitely start dropping the sauce line more because, like I said, that was a very big staple of the sauce. But again, there's nothing like the often imitated, never duplicated. I see it. Everybody has a round table now. Everybody has a round table. The round table that we've been doing for years now, right? I guess it's cool. I guess that's the new thing, right? Everybody gets to make a round table. Anyway, shout out to the round. Shout out to Sauce Nation. Again, I'm looking at the wrong camera. I need to be looking over here, not over here. But I appreciate each and every single one of y'all, man. I thank y'all for being a part of this. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to this, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're following on the social media. The TikTok thing is wrong. TikTok, I think, is just soft sports. I think I need to fix this. I don't know. And there's nothing on TikTok, so if you don't follow now, you'll be all right. I'm a dance, victory, end zone dance on the TikTok. But with that being said, I'm chunking up a deuce. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool, but most of all, go and play shit right. Play as fuck up.
What the hell is Sauce Sports or whatever that last call
I
was
don't
talking about? What
know.
the hell is that?
Guys
That was a weird.
from Free Love, man.
All right.